going into the final.
Yeah, but that sort of presupposes some sort of common sense and them actually reading the rules and regulations and thinking about it, doesn't it?
Yeah, well, I'm not the one reading the rules and regulations.
But you know, it is
talking about
yeah,
it.
no, but it is funny though how these things don't get picked up. I mean, in all sorts of, you'll go into a county season and you'll suddenly find a rule. You say, how on earth did this ever get through? But you had it since last September. It's only when you actually get to implement it you suddenly think, well, this isn't working. Anyway, I'm sure we could talk about this all night long. We haven't got time to do that because we've got some great action coming up for you. But if you would like to join in the debate, what do you think? Should it be switched? Well, that's the email address, cricketworldcup@skysports.com. And don't forget, by the way, that the website, if you want any news about the World Cup to check out, is www.skysports.com/World Cup. OK, let's concentrate on the Super Sixes. That's where we've got you now in the tournament. And remember, this is where all the teams started out from at the beginning of the day. Now, these points, some of you are a bit confused about them. Basically, what's happened is, if you beat somebody who's also qualified with you, in other words, for Australia, that's India and Zimbabwe, you get 4 points for those 2 wins. So they got 4 from India and 4 from Zimbabwe. And then they picked up 4 singles, if you like, for the other victories that they had in the early rounds. So Kenya, they've got 10 points because they beat Sri Lanka, who qualified. New Zealand, they were given that for those 4 points because New Zealand didn't go there. And they also picked up a couple of wins against other minnows. So that's how that's worked, and that's how everybody has started off these Super Sixes. And remember, it's the top 4 at the end of it all who will go forward to the semis. 1 will play 4 in the first semi-final, 2 will play 3 in the second semi-final, the one of the lights we've just been talking about. But let's see what happened in the opening game of the Super Sixes. It was Australia against Sri Lanka. Now, that was the Australian side. Remember, we told you last night, no Simons. So Ian Harvey came in for him. And we can have a quick look at the Sri Lankan side. Pretty sort of standard lineup for them with the batting packed and the bowling looking to Chaminda Vas and Matara Muralitharan to give them the edge. Now, Australia decided to bat when they won the toss. So we're going to pick up the action early on in their innings and see how they got on.
Oh, that's a good shot. That's up there on leg stump, and it'll go for 4. This is a carpet-type outfield. And that was right off the middle of the bat. It's right into the slot as far as Gilchrist is concerned, so he's got 5.
Well, thank you. He's bunted one down the ground for a single. He's in good form, and then he gets a beautiful half volley. Well and truly outside leg stump. These types of opportunities are going to come up against this bowling attack if we just spend some time at the top order.
Nice placement, so Widener can't get to that one, and they settle for a single. Now, we do read from time to time that there is a little bit of bad blood between these two teams. Heels, you're pretty close to the Australian side. Is that a fact, or is that just some talk about healthy competition?
It's totally media driven now. There's certainly no bad blood between the teams now. There has been a history of it, but it's finished. They keep riding it though.
Well, that's well played. That's a lovely pull shot. You can't bowl short and expect to get away with it to Matthew Hayden. That was hit like a rocket in front of square.
I was worried there was no protection out for Gilchrist as well.
It's well bowled, and he's taking one. This will be close. If he hits the stumps, he'll be out. Oh, that should have been run out. Sri Lanka have missed an opportunity here early on in this match against Australia. It's 12 for none. He's hit that one very well. That's another 4 into that area. That's not protected, and if the ball is short, the Australians are going to milk.
Poor bowling this. Gunaratne a leg side already today, and now short, and at his pace, which is about 130 kilometres per hour, can't afford it on a good wicket to 2 very powerful and attacking batsmen. Jayasuriya has got his hands full already. He's talking to Palasthi as we speak. The field stays the same. Short, fine leg is up. And Bass is still back behind square, but Gilchrist has been getting him in front of square.
Well run. Well, this is where Sri Lanka are going to have to lift their game. The Australians will take advantage of any slack fielding. And I'm afraid it's going to be more of that unless they do something just a little bit different. Now, this is what leadership's all about.
His answer so far is to tell Dilhara Fernando to warm up, but Gunaratne hasn't got the seam right. Opening the bowling today, the seam's all over the place. Hayden across his stumps, just plants the feet, cracks it through covers. Maybe Murali. Wickets in hand is really important for Australia.
Oh, there he goes again. The fieldsman slow to get onto that one. Gilchrist didn't really hit it. Dilhara Fernando is in that position at mid-wicket. And it beat him. He was a bit slow, it seemed to me.
Well, that's just awesome batting. It's a pretty good ball by the bowler. Gilchrist plays one ball in a row the way Sri Lanka want him to, and this time, nah, I'm going across.
That's in the air, down towards the boundary. Oh, and the fieldsman down there hasn't picked it up. It's going to roll into the fence. So again, not quite picked up. Off the middle of the bat, it was hit high and square, but there's no doubt that Mahela Jayawardene didn't pick it up.
The other thing he thought possibly is Gilchrist got hold of it better than he did, because he didn't move. He still hadn't moved about now. Now Jayasuriya talks to the bowler again. These Australians sort of giving Jayasuriya a message. How dare you put another man over the offside? We can hit your bowlers leg side or offside if we like.
Oh, it's a lovely shot. And Gilchrist, once again, just a bit too much width from Gunaratne. Gilchrist doesn't need too many invitations when you bowl that sort of line. Oh, that's a lovely shot. A couple of paces down the pitch, made it into a full toss and pummeled it down the ground. 50's up, 53 without loss after 8. It's in the air. Once again, nicely placed from Adam Gilchrist. And he's timed it well enough to bring up another boundary. Well, there was cries of catch. Gilchrist is fine in the middle of the bat. That's over the top on the leg side. Gilchrist is finding a liking to this bowling at the moment.
Certainly he has found the pitch to his liking, and the Sri Lankan bowling hasn't really shown the sort of aggression that we have seen it come along earlier on. It was hit virtually on the up on the front foot and hitting it to that vacant area.
This time he uses his feet. That's good batting. That's a lovely shot. There was a noise there, maybe two noises. Sri Lankan certainly think so, and he's given him. Billy Bowden's taken a long time. Well, there were certainly two noises. Now, was it inside edge onto pad, or was it bad hitting boot or bad hitting ground and then the ball onto the pad? Matthew Hayden's not all that happy about it.
Somehow Billy Bowden took a long time over his decision, but the Sri Lankans went up in unison as soon as ball hit the pad or the bat. Oh, I think Hayden was quite unlucky there. But the Sri Lankans, they will take anything at this stage. So Hayden's gone, caught Tilakaratne, Muralidharan's bowling for 22, 75 for 1.
Australian one-day captain Ricky Ponting is the new man. Places Matthew Hayden, who may have been a little unlucky. That's short. You don't see that very often from Muralidharan, and he's punished. And that's 50 for Adam Gilchrist. 50 off only 45 balls and 10 boundaries in that 50.
The Australians no doubt have unsettled the Sri Lankans, as there's been some degree of uncertainty about their bowling itself. Russell Arnold introduced the attack, and he's been treated with the same sort of severity as the rest.
That's pretty nice controlled stroke. He didn't hit it too hard, just got himself almost to the pitch of the ball and then really just chipped it away.
This is very difficult for the Sri Lankan bowlers, bowling against Adam Gilchrist in the first 15 overs. They have had to bring on the spinners because the seamers haven't done anything out of the ordinary. That's gone again. That's gone a very long way. He's a strong man. That's 6.
He gave that plenty. The first one was controlled. It's 99 for 1 and 15 gone. Go and fetch it, but don't get in the road of it. Well, that's neat. There's been a lot of whacking and banging going on out there. And that was a lovely, deft little stroke. The umpire might want to have a look at that on replay to see if the foot was touching the rope. But it's a beautiful, delicate piece of soccer football control.
Murali Tharan is always giving 100%, whether he has the ball in his hand or whether he has it by his foot. Saw a Brazilian flag on the ground earlier on. Perhaps he brought it.
What placement. Absolutely brilliant. 114 for 1 and 16 overs gone.
Well, that was a beautiful delivery. Ricky Ponting searching. Perhaps thought it would have spun back in. Just kept on going. And Sangakkara was a bit late in taking those bails off. Missed on the first occasion. Second occasion he was a bit late.
Might look for 2 again here. Coming. He's missed the stumps again. Oh, that's twice Sangakkara's missed the stumps. Once was with the stumping off Murali Tharan. This time was the throw from Aravinda De Silva. It was a good throw. It was a flat bounce throw from Aravinda. And Ponting was diving, but he may well have been out had Sangakkara taken the bails the first time.
Yes, he probably, it would have been close, but they teach you, you've got to get the bails off first time, otherwise you really are struggling. Have a look at this one. Let's see. There he are. I think he may well have just been out. By inches, he would have been gone. That's the second occasion now that Ponting has been let off by Sangakkara. It may well have been that he was out-stumped as well. There he goes, trying to get the bails off, misses the stumps, and let's tell you, this will tell us. Let's see. There we go. Yeah, if he had have taken him, he was gone. He hadn't even reached the line. Well, he reached the line. His gloves already passed. So, a big miss.
And a call of a yes and a no. And hit the stumps. I've got a feeling that Adam Gilchrist may have got back, and actually David Shepherd, the umpire, is not even going to refer that. It's certainly a good piece of work. He was having to go to his left and then throw back across his body and hit the stumps.
Yes, he was comfortably home. Umpires are not encouraged to take chances with this sort of thing. Umpire Shepherd, I've got to tell you, I'd like to see that slowed down a little bit. I think he might have been taking a bit of a chance. Something umpire Buckner thankfully chose not to do in Durban the other night. This is far too close.
That's beautiful play. It was a deliberate bounce up from Dilhara Fernando. It wasn't dragged short. From the bowler, I believe the bouncer was a deliberate ploy from Dilhara Fernando to try and get a wicket. But that one's just a bad ball. And you can't bowl bad balls to Adam Gilchrist in this sort of mood. 167 for 1. Australia after 27.
A Grand Slam in the UK. A Grand Slam in France. A Grand Slam in Australia. Another Grand Slam, brought to you by Kia.
Come on, girls, you on?
We gotta hurry up. Let's do it. Where's he going?
All right, girls.
Coca-Cola has a huge collection of music from your favourite bands. Collect and text codes from special packs for limited edition CDs. To register and for a chance to win backstage concert tickets, text music to 84190 now.
.167 for one. Fernando there, 6 overs for 32. Some real worries for Sri Lanka at the moment. I'd say Murali Dhuran has been their best bowler so far, and then Fernando's probably been their second best bowler, and he's on 2 warnings. So one more warning for running on the pitch, and he can no longer bowl in this match. So that would really throw a spanner in the works for the Sri Lankan captain. Full toss, and that's gone a long way. It's gone over the first lot of seats on the grass and into the temporary stand.
A full toss to Ricky Ponting around about stump high is the sort of delivery that's going to end up going all but out of the ground, which is exactly what happened here. Just look at this. This is an awful delivery. He's smashed it. It's gone over the top of the umbrellas there. You can see it coming down now and hits the rail and bounces up into that top tier.
And that's the 100 partnership between these two. Only 93 deliveries. It's in the air and he's dropped him. Well, he was thinking about the boundary, got the ball he was after, maybe a fraction close. And Murali Dhuran has put him down.
Murali doesn't drop many. He must have misread the pace that he's hit this one at him. It may well have been that he shouldn't have been diving as well. I don't think there was any real necessity for a dive there. That's probably what messed him up at the end of the day. There we are. Look, he's catching that without diving. And it's gone in and straight out. It's hit the hard part of his hand. He's really just pushed it past the post. You watch this. There we are. It hits him on the right hand, bounces back from the other one. Oh dear.
For 2 again. This time they're coming. A bit of a stutter, and this one's hit the stumps. That one could well be out. It's a direct hit. Adam Gilchrist has looked towards the change rooms, but he's heading back. But this time there was also a stutter in the calling, and this time it was a direct hit.
That was a wonderful throw to get rid of these Australians who run very well between the wicket. More often than not, you've got to affect a direct hit. Well, Gilchrist has gone back to have a chat to Ponting. Ponting was the one that struggled. Gilchrist is off a little bit late. Look, he's struggling here. This has got to be out. Oh yes. Well, we're going to have to slow it down to be absolutely sure, but I reckon that he's out by about 6 inches. Yep, the stumps are broken, the bails are all over the place. 99, and Adam Gilchrist has been run out. That's a tragedy. Well, Murali didn't do it. He was bowling, but it was a brilliant throw that got rid of Adam Gilchrist. 180 for 1.
It certainly was a brilliant throw. Needed to be a direct hit. And Gilchrist is left stranded on 99. He's disappointed. Only 88 balls faced. Australia are 180 for 2. Damien Martin is the new man for Australia. 120 matches. Good, very healthy average of 40.6.
That is the throw, and it's a beauty.
Well, they've missed opportunities today, and this looks like what they have to produce to get these Australians out. A direct hit from about 50 metres.
That's nice. Ponting deserves it. I think this has been a clever innings of his. I don't think he's been at his best, and yet he's got 52 from 66 balls. So I think it's a very thoughtful captain's knock. I'd rather like to look at that. And that. I think Billy Bowden likes signalling sixes.
200 up for Australia with a crashing shot. So little difference between the one he hit down the ground, the other one he worked onto the leg side, or this one smashes aerially over mid-wicket, and that's long. That's right up at the base of the scoreboard. A very big hit once again. He hit a full toss on the other side of the ground a long way, but that one's just as far.
That's a magnificent stroke. That has gone flat and fast. 208 for 2, 33 gone, and that is a magnificent over for Ponting and for Australia. I would say that that's about the ultimate. The chance of a run out, had it been a direct hit, then overthrows, no one picking the ball up, we're all throwing their arms in the air. So that's the throw. Batsman out, bowler not picking it up, no one backing up, goes for 4.
Oh, he's hit that one well. That's over the top. It's bouncing away down to the boundary for 4. That's very well played by Ponting. He's committed himself to targeting the infield today, hitting it over the infield and gaining 4s that way.
Was making batting look so simple, Ponting. Just look at the use of the feet, the positioning, and cracking it away on the offside.
Oh, he's got that way fine, and that'll go for 4. This is a carpet-like outfield. It's just gone running over the outfield. Absolute waste of time, even trying to chase that to the boundary. Little bottom edge beating the fieldsman at 45 degrees. That now brings up the 250 in the 40th over. So if Sri Lanka get close here today, we are going to see some good cricket. Oh, he's gone for that one. That's a 6. That's a big 6 as well. It's way up onto the hill, and he's put it down. Well, the catching of the crowd's been pretty good today, but some butterfingers up there.
What a wonderful shot there by Ponting. Great use of the feet. As he saw Muralidharan giving that ball a little bit of air, he was after it and really hit the meat of the bat. What a great shot.
268 for 2. Right, this could be the moment now. Ponting on strike on 97. "15 centuries so far scored in World Cup 2003. No one has scored 2. 15 different batsmen have registered them. Ponting on the threshold of 1. He's got it away fine. Yes, he's done it. That's Ricky Ponting's 12th one-day international 100. It's also his 4th as captain, by the way. He's 3rd against Sri Lanka. He's played very well today.
What a fine innings here by Ponting. He's certainly enjoying the job of captain and also rounding it up with this great display of batting. What a wonderful display. He's given this crowd plenty of enjoyment. It's a big crowd here, and what a fine innings by this Australian captain.
Yes, he's taken to the captaincy like a duck to water. He really has. He's handled it absolutely superbly. He's only been captain of this Australian side for 12 months. He looks as if he's been doing it for 5 years.
Certainly has enjoyed the job of captain. If you look around the captains in this competition, he's one of those captains always got a smile on his face and seems to be enjoying his job rather than some of the others who seem to be not really putting up with the pressure.
Yes, he's look at the response there of his team too. He's a popular captain. There's no doubt about that. Well, that's a little short. He's hit that hard. It's going over this outfield. I think it'll be 4. Yes, it's a very good shot on the up, wide of mid-off. Well, that was very good placement.
Oh, it's a short one. Straight up in the air. Sangakkara should get this, and he does. And that ends Ricky Ponting's wonderful innings. Thinking about, I think, originally charging that delivery. Fernando may have seen him coming. Bowled a good short ball.
Not the easiest man to hook in the world, Ilhara Fernando. Has some sharp bounce, as we saw the slow bounce earlier on. This one certainly wasn't the slower one. It got onto Ricky Ponting very, very quick indeed. Very simple task, that one for Sangakkara. But the end of an excellent knock from Ricky Ponting. 114 of 109 deliveries. It's 293 for 3.
Darren Lehmann is now out in the middle of Centurion Park, replacing Ricky Ponting, and Darren Lehmann's been in good touch in this World Cup so far. Well, it's up in the air. This should be out as well. Oh, Fieldsman's lost it in the sun. Ashan Tilakaratne's the fieldsman, who did not get a hand on it. Martin survives, 302 for 3. Oh, it's just beaten the man at mid-wicket. That'll be 4 for Lehmann. Excellent piece of improvisation from Darren Lehmann. We saw it quite a bit against Namibia in a game at Potchefstroom, this sort of shot. He played that one very well. Martin should get at least 1 for this. In fact, Lehmann will get back comfortably for 2. And that's Damien Martin's half century.
He's given him one to start with. Don't worry about the outswing that might find the little faint edge. It had a bit of pace behind as well.
Well, I think you're going to see quite a bit of this over the next couple of hours. There's no doubt, particularly Jayasuriya. He likes a bit of width. He likes the ball when it's up. And I think Australia will target the Sri Lankans with the short ball in this innings.
And that's the stroke. That's his signature cover drive. 4 off the first over. McGrath bowled it well, but Adapadu was equal at the end. Six for no wicket, 2 overs.
That was the last delivery from Brett Lee's over. I think it's beaten the inside edge and quite freakish. It's hit the underhand or the bottom hand of the bat. It's probably way the back of the wrist. And that ball was around the 150k per hour mark. And that's why the Sri Lankan captain's down there at the moment, just checking on his arm. I think it's somewhere closer to the wrist.
Might have hit him on the bare arm, but I've got a feeling that it's hit on the glove and that has jarred it up, and it looks as though he's in a pretty bad way. Ashan Tilakaratne, another left-hander, is coming out. That was the last ball at Brett Lee's over. We haven't started the next over from McGrath. Just coming up now.
Well, it's not a good sign for Sri Lanka, not just for this match, but for the rest of this tournament, to see Sanat Jayasuriya walk off the ground looked like he was in quite a bit of pain. If there is a crack or a break there, it's been very difficult for Jayasuriya to get back for the rest of this tournament. Less than 3 weeks now until the World Cup final. Sri Lanka have 2 more Super 6 matches and a semi-final and final if they make it that far.
Now there's the spot where he shouldn't bowl. Mark Taylor's already pointed out that there are only 2 men on the onside. Well, a direct hit would have been interesting there, but then so will it be if that's negated by the ball having gone for 4.
No, Andrew Bickle's done well there. It was an excellent chase to start with. Mentioned there was no mid-on. It was up to Bickle, who was at mid-off, to do the chasing. He does it well.
That's not throw away. A bit high, perhaps. It's a bit of bounce there for Brett Lee. It's 18 for no wicket. Top 6.
In the air and found the gap. That's why the 2 men were placed in that particular area, but he found the gap.
Yeah, Brett Lee's punished the body. He's been shortened into the ribs and the armpits of Tilakaratne. This time he floats one up. He wants him playing this shot. There's 2 men catching. They don't play a gully, the Australians. There's 2 men catching and he splits them.
It's gone very fine. He'll go all the way. That's well played. That may go all the way. Beautiful outfield. It will roll quite nicely over this grass. That's a good shot. That's a very good shot. 2 men placed in that particular region for the short ball in the ribs. He just flicked it away.
I think Brett Lee might be tiring here, or is it the fact that the right and lefties have now got on top in this little portion of the match?
Caught. That was very well done by Brett Lee.
Gone 3 short balls. They've been well handled by Adepato. This time floats it up, Brett Lee. Mind you, floats it at 150 k's an hour and then has the presence of mind to look up and snatch that. Adepato was on top there for that over, but that's it. Lee's got his man. 1 ball in the 10th over remaining, 42 for 1.
Jayawadena, the new batsman for Sri Lanka, has done absolutely nothing in this tournament so far. Could this day be his day? That was a dismissal of Mabanatha Patu. Well, isn't he happy? Well played. Very well played.
Slowly starting to happen for Tilakaratne. He moves to 21 from 35, but he watches this all the way out of the hand, off the pitch, and he doesn't try anything, just goes with it. And past Ian Harvey.
Edged and gone. The bad run continues for Mahela Jayawadena.
Back-to-back ducks against Australia for Mahela. This is just pace and line. It's left out there for him. And of course the fishing blade. When you're not in form, you haven't got great control over what it's going to do for you. It didn't do a lot for Joe Warden on this occasion. 46 for 2, the Sri Lankans.
Well, from a man with absolutely no form at all to a man that's in peak form, Aravinda de Silva. the elder statesman in this Sri Lankan team. Over 9,000 runs at this level. The end of Mahela Jayawadena opened up like a can of beans, and that's what happens when you're not in the best of form. Square on, edge, bye-bye.
And what a difference a wicket makes. Adipadu was on top just last over.
That's close. Umpire Shep isn't interested. Perhaps a bit high.
But have a look how small Aravinda's pads are. He's got small legs, he's even got smaller pads. And the other thing to watch is his technique. He does get across the stumps. Has he fooled David Shepherd that it's more leg side than it really is? He's right in front of his stumps. Look at that. And it's hit above the flap on his back pad, about level with the top of his pad on the back leg. You can still see a lot of stump there. You can also see why David Shepherd said, I think it's too high.
Oh, that's got to be out. He's bowled him. The stumps are all over the place. The bails are flying. Tilakaratne's little battle with these fast men from Australia has come to an end. Well, that was another good delivery, and McGrath has got a wicket. Let's have another look at it. Good delivery, this one.
Tilakaratne, some sort of resistance, but the bat nowhere. Certainly should have got forward to that delivery, and he sees that off stump knocked off. His resistance coming to an end. Tilakaratne walks away, 47 for 3.
Russell Arnold's the new batsman. Can he do something in the face of what has been fantastic bowling? A big statement being made here by the Australians to the rest of the teams in World Cup cricket. If you think you're going to find it easy against us, think again.
Yes, I think the Sri Lankans certainly have had no answer to the pace of McGrath and Brett Lee, and this was how Tilakaratne went. Sort of misjudged the length, went behind and was beaten for pace.
Well, that's got to be close. Yes, that's LBW. Brett Lee has got him jumping around all over the place, and when it's straight, he finds them on the crease. And when you're on the crease and the ball is straight, you've got a good chance of being out LBW.
Yes, Brett Lee did soften up Russell Arnold with those short bit deliveries. He was very tentative, as you would see, and just that rather unsettled nudge forward, wrapped without that long stride, and there was no doubt in umpire Shepherd's mind. Russell Arnold goes 48 for 4.
Sangakkara is the new batsman. That's got to be close too. Oh, it's not out. He says not out. Oh, I tell you what, he must have got a little bit of bat on that one. Either that or it was missing by a Skerrick. Did he say down the leg side? But he was back on his stumps again. Let's have a look at it.
Yes, you could see that Sangakkara was very, very tentative. He hadn't even moved. That really was something which was going to be close. That was on line, and one's not quite sure where that was going.
Oh, and well, he certainly got hands to it, but put it down. Matthew Hayden's a wonderful fielder in that area. He's taken some wonderful catches over the years, but not this time.
That was hit powerfully by Aravinda De Silva, but Matthew Hayden has got it well covered, as you would see. And just losing balance and putting it down.
Oh, he's hit that beautifully. That's a magnificent shot. That's Aravinda at his best. He's hit that into the crowd. Well, perhaps things will start looking up for the Sri Lankans. A short delivery, and Aravinda has played a beautiful hook shot. Oh, that's a really good shot. Onto his toes, through the offside for 4. Aravinda, 66 for 4.
.77 for 4 with that boundary. for Aravinda de Silva and 20 overs gone.
That's nicely hit. And there's actually go for 4 as well. I've got a feeling there was an attempt to shovel the ball from Matthew Hayden to Glenn McGrath, and it went all wrong.
It's going to be one of those days, Andy.
That's a lovely shot, though. Slightly overpitched. The first time that Harvey's overpitched for 2 or 3 overs, and he was punished.
.97 for 4, 25 gone, halfway mark.
Travelex, the world's foreign exchange company.
It's a 50 stand between Sangakkara and Aravinda de Silva. 73 ball.
Well, it's been hard work for the Sri Lankans. These two have done well, but they really need to get a move on now if they're going to go anywhere near this total.
That's a single into the gap to Hogg. He'll have a shot. It's a direct hit. Sangakkara's stretching. We've seen the effect of direct hits time and time again. What's this one like for Hogg?
Yes, I think it's gone to the third umpire. Very fine move by Hogg. All waiting in anticipation. The Sri Lankans looking for the quick single there. The Australians have been homing in. Oh, yes, it's gone. That might be. Yes, it's gone. There's no doubt about that. So Sangakkara's fighting knock comes to an end.
The Australians had all gone back to their positions. They didn't think it was out. They get the decision and they all have to regather around Hogg. All of a sudden it's become a good piece of fielding again. Sangakkara gone.
Oh yes, these direct hits, they certainly can spell bad news for the batsman. There you are. That's that throw, a very good throw. In fact, hardly saw other than one stump, and Sangakkara just that little bit short. Sri Lanka lose their 5th wicket for just 100. So the new batsman, Shamin Dawaz. Shamin Dawaz has got very little to show as a batsman, but the Sri Lankans, if they need to try and lengthen this innings as much as possible to give Aravinda de Silva some sort of support, will need to come up with some sort of good innings. And the reason he's there is because Sangakkara went through a brilliant throw by Hogg, as you would see. Just saw one stump.
He got it in the hand nicely and readjusted it into the fingers so that he could control the throw. Lots of things have to go right there. He's just getting in into the fingers there now. Then he's got to hit one stump. Clinical performance. Have a look at Damien Martin. Turns around. He's standing right in the way of the umpire, right on the line. Lucky we've got the technology.
Well, that's well played by Shamin Dawaz. Wide and slashed at it, beating the field on the offside.
Well, what initially sprung to mind here was a shot Ricky Ponting played in the first innings. This time the slower ball from Ian Harvey. Shamin Dawaz just plants the front foot and smashes through the covers.
Well, De Silva gets some bat onto that, and that's racing down for 4. Plays that so well, goes across his crease, his stumps, and just gets some bat onto it. And when you do that, you are in business. Well, that's well played by Shamin Dawaz. It was short, and when it's short on this pitch, you don't have too much of a chance. Oh, that misses everyone. That was a great delivery. The googly going through Shamin Dawaz's bat and pad. Misses Shamin Dawaz, misses Gilchrist, and runs down for 4. That's in there, and a grab chance. Sami Dubas hitting it hard back at the bowler. Hogg's attempt just failing to grab the ball.
Ravinder has taken care of that one. 143 for 5 from 36. That is very close, yeah. It has beaten him. I think it's hit the pad first and then the bat. But it was a beautiful piece of bowling, a quicker wrong-un, and it had the left-hander completely beaten. Didn't have a hope of picking it, not even for one instant.
None of them have been picking this wrong one from Brad Hogg. You'll see it pitching just outside the off stump, rocketing into the pad first. There you can see, and then onto the bat. That was plumb. Absolutely no doubt about it. Crooked finger or not, that's out. 144 for 6.
.36.4 overs. Brad Hogg has 1 for 8 at the moment. Matai Muralidharan has come out to bat. Against the pacemen, his stroke play and footwork can be fairly extravagant. Against the spinners, well, may not have a ground big enough to hold him.
I think what we can see is that he's very entertaining against both fast and slow. This is Sami Dubas's dismissal again. Certainly didn't pick it. That would have carried on and hit middle and leg. Hit him on mid, but it still had a bit of distance to travel.
Well, they haven't got a straight hit. Muralidharan's first move is to hit straight down the grab. Good catch. Good catch. He had to make ground to it and then slightly overran it, I think. Had to steady himself and took it well. Brett Lee, the man who'd been warming up and has now warmed up properly.
Legs and hands. Wasn't all that powerfully hit by Muralidharan, so it wouldn't have stung his hands all that much, but made good ground. Settled himself, kept his eyes on the ball, held on well. 7 down, 149 on the board.
New batsman is Dilhara Fernando. I'm not too sure what his instructions will be, because you've got Aravinda de Silva at one end trying to bat out the 50 overs. I think that's probably 4. I think both fielders realise that it just got through there. Matthew Hayden, who's had an interesting day in the field. Well, he's missed it with his first hand.
Oh, catch it.
50 for Aravinda de Silva. The total goes to 155 for 7 and 39 overs. Darren Lehman pays the penalty for dropping a little bit short to Aravinda de Silva. Goes to 54. That's one of the great shots you will ever see. It was a ripper.
This is all a shot that we learned very early in the West Indies from playing cricket without pads. Anything that's in line with the legs, just a flick of the wrist. You have to protect those legs if you're not wearing pads as a kid. Get away from here.
On the other side of the wicket, an equally good shot. And there he goes. A long, long way away.
Oh, he's had a hit. Oh, he's hit this. It's a no ball. It's a huge six. Take that. He has smashed that to the longest boundary in the ground. Brett Lee is being smashed all over Centurion.
144 k's an hour down the pitch, about 170 back the other way. Off the back foot, just sits back, bang, in the middle of the bat. It's just lower than the centre. And look at that go.
He's having a go, and an effort there to catch that one, but a miss hit for 4. I think Aravinda Silva's after a century here. He's going to bow out of Centurion in style. Oh, and he's hit that one into the ground, and then up. Oh, they're holding it up. Well, now, there's a bit of confusion there. My initial reaction was that he hit it down. However, it's very difficult. Fieldsmen don't normally get these wrong. Umpire Shepherd didn't see it. It went so fast. I think the umpire's having a bit of a problem. Now, if they're not sure, they're going to have to give him the benefit of the doubt. But I think you'll find he was probably out, although the reaction from up here, it looked as if it was hit down and then up.
Yeah, did it bounce on the pitch or did it hit the bat first? He's called for the camera now. If that ball hit the bat first, it wouldn't go that quickly to Damien Martin. He's just come off the pitch onto the bat, and this is where cricket instincts come into play again. I don't think you could slice it as quickly to Damien Martin if it's hit bat then pitch. Third umpire, here it comes.
Oh, you'll give it not out, I'd say. Benefit of the doubt to the batsman.
Yeah, don't mind that. Don't mind it at all. The Australians, they weren't that sure anyway. Now they're not that happy with that decision. But let's get on with it. He's got a chance to go to 100. He's 89 from 91. It hasn't been thwarted. Ricky Ponting talking to David Shepherd now. I saw it on the camera. Why didn't the third umpire see it the same way as me?
Right, he's hit it straight back to him. That's it. He's got him now. Caught and bowled. Well, that's the end of Aravinda. Try to smash it back down the pitch, and Hogg has taken a good return catch and smiles back on the Aussie faces.
Well deserved, Brad Hogg. He's bowled very well. He's even kept Aravinda quiet, looking to hit through the offside. Spins onto the inside edge of his bat and straight back to Brad Hogg, who's already put down a caught and bowled today, but deserves that one. Aravinda, standing ovation, well deserved. 203 for 8.
Pulasti Gunaratne is the new batsman, so this is it once a wicket falls here, because Sanat Jayasuriya will not be batting. Mid-on moving back a little bit. Hogg 2 for 28. Oh, well bowled. Very nearly cleaned him up.
Surprised Adam Gilchrist too that it was in his glove. This is the wicket. Aravinda looking to hit to the left of screen. Against the spin. Gets the inside edge. The inside half of his bat.
Well, that's well played. Just tossed up in the air just a little bit and played away on the onside for 4 more. Oh, a big appeal there. Yes, he's got him. I think that probably hit him on the foot. Up goes Glenn McGrath, and so he will be smiling now, because ultimately he's got the wicket he wanted, and he's got an LBW to boot. So that's it. Sanat Jayasuriya won't be coming out to bat, and the Australians have cleaned up Sri Lanka.
4th Yorker in a row. Good practice for Glenn McGrath. It does. It hits the front toe of Dilhara Fernando. Out for 9. That leaves Gunaratne not out 15 from 15 balls. A strike rate of 100. Glenn McGrath hasn't bowled consistent Yorkers for some time. It's a good time to practice that and get it back. 223. The Sri Lankans are all out for Australia, winning this contest, the first Super 6 matches of the 2003 World Cup, by 96 runs.
Convincing performance by Australia. The Sri Lankan batting never really get going, barring, of course, Aravinda de Silva's breathtaking 92. Severely hampered by Sanat Jayasuriya having to retire hurt for one. News about that injury coming up in just a moment. But once he was gone, the trend was set, and of course Brett Lee got stuck into that upper order. And that was that. Let's have a quick look at the Aussie bowling figures. Actually, Brett Lee's figures suffered just a tiny little bit because Aravinda de Silva tucked into him at the end there, but 3 for 52, a pretty useful return. Glenn McGrath is just extraordinary, isn't he? Keeps going, doesn't give anything away. 2 for 25, and there were a couple for Brad Hogg as well, and 1 for Darren Lehman. So there is a confirmation of the game. Australia winning by 96 runs. Mark Taylor that was there afterwards for the post-match presentation ceremony.
Disappointing day all around.
Yeah, Mark, I think it was not our day because we didn't bowl well and we bowled both sides of the wicket and we paid the price.
And just moving on to you, mate, how's that arm?
Arm was badly bruised, Mark, and I had a little chip on my finger.
So what's worse, the finger or the arm?
At the moment is the finger, but it is badly bruised my hand.
Well, I've got a question to ask you. Australia have played very well here. They've only had one close win against England. Do you think they can be beaten in this tournament?
You never know, because one day, people are doing well in the first 1 hour, and it's very crucial. And I think we didn't do well. I think whoever who are doing well in the first few hours can beat them, but I think today we didn't bowl well, and we bowled both sides of the wicket, and I think Ricky and Gilchrist played really well.
And if I could just call on Ricky Ponting, the Australian captain. Ricky, a good game all round for you.
Yeah, pretty good game for the guys. We obviously batted well and we executed our plans pretty well today. I thought we played their spinners particularly well, and yeah, set a very good total batting first and then bowled well at the start as well.
We're talking about plans. It looks like your plan was to be very aggressive, both with the ball and the bat early on.
Yeah, we thought we had to get through the new ball with our batting. Chaminda have done a very good job for Sri Lanka in these opening games, and then with the new ball when we were bowling, we had to try and get stuck into them a little bit and unsettle them and keep them under pressure for the rest of the day.
Well, 114 runs yourself. You've got the man of the match award, and I'm sure Penny Haynes here would love to give you the gold watch that's supplied by the South African gold mining industry. And just one more quick question, mate, about you and Adam Gilchrist. Adam Gilchrist, 99 off 88. Was that your fault, the run out?
I'll take the blame for it. Yeah, I mean, Gilly played beautifully today, and I must admit it actually was his call, the one that he got run out on. So that's the way things go. But he got us off to a great start, as did Matty Hayden. That was the platform for obviously our big innings.
Very relaxed, Ricky Ponting at the moment, and why not? His side keep winning and winning by a distance, or pulling unlikely wins out of the fire. So he's always got a smile on his face. And Sanat Jayasuriya, on the other hand, just was bandaged out, looking like the mummy returned, didn't he, by the time he came back from hospital? That injury was probably the most crucial single act of the game, in a way.
Well, he's one player that, when you're chasing over 300, he's one player that can certainly put you in a good position to overcome a total like that. And to lose him so early was a desperate blow, not only for this game, but potentially for maybe the rest of the Super Sixes and beyond.
It's funny, I mean, we'll have seen batsmen hit over the years by all sorts of thunderbolts. That one didn't actually appear to clock him that hard, did it?
Yeah, when it's coming 150 k's an hour, it tends to clock you reasonably hard. You know, cricket balls are hard, so yeah, it depends how it catches you too.
Snuck in underneath his guard and almost for a minute just looked like it sort of brushed against his body. But and the other thing is, of course, he says he's got a chipped finger as well. That was another injury he picked up in the game. How much of a problem will it be if he's not available to play? Their next game is on Monday in Johannesburg against India.
I think it'll be a massive loss. He's a good leader. He's absolutely essential to their top order. And if he's missing, they've got problems.
Brett Lee thundered in.
Oh, they were relentless, weren't they? I mean, again, it comes to that period in the game, the first 15 overs, and Australia, McGrath and Lee, they just hit the deck so hard and bowl very straight with this new ball. And I've yet to see a side really manage to keep wickets in hand to try and attack the bowlers in the middle, because I'm not so sure about the depth of bowling. I mean, on a good pitch like this, you know, Bickle and Hogg, you know, they may not be quite so effective, but they've really knocked the stuffing out of Sri Lanka. And they're a top-class, top order. I mean, these are good players, but they bowled fast and straight and really unsettled them.
Yeah, it's an interesting point you made, that somebody maybe just has to seriously think about, we will just try and get through the 15 overs, be 60 without loss.
Well, it's definitely the tactic you'd have to try to take into it to overcome, firstly, McGrath, and not try to lose wickets to him. And Brett Lee always going to score off, because he's that type of bowler, he's an attacking bowler, and that's his role in the side, is to attack, take wickets. But it's so important that you try to keep your wicket intact. And as Mark said, if you can sort of try to keep your, well, try to aim to get your scoring from, you know, maybe Bickle, Hogg and Lehman and Harvey or whoever else is playing.
Okay, one other person to talk about. Aravinda de Silva was quite brilliant today, wasn't he? The old man of the Sri Lankan side, but looks to be thoroughly enjoying his cricket, his swan song tournament. And one shot brought a gasp of amazement from you, Mark. I know that. I think it was that one, wasn't it?
I mean, I've long been an admirer of Aravinda. You know, he plays the ball very late. He's only a short
That's the one.
But I'm sorry, that is just amazing shot. You know, for the speed of the deliveries, and for a small fella, he's unleashing some hammer blows there, and very enjoyable. Good to see, you know, somebody show what can be done against the Australian bowlers. Not very often, but no, that was fine stroke play.
I mean, it's the great thing about, we're kind of going back to Brett Lee, but when a batsman gets stuck into him, it is just box office. I mean, we saw in the Ashes series, Alex Stewart and Brett Lee had some fantastic duels, but I thought Aravinda today, it was a pity he didn't get 100 because he deserved one.
Yeah, he did. You know, first of all, he started off, he knocked it around, but then he really opened up after he got his half-century. And the sort of thing, when you're facing Brett Lee, you know, and it's coming down that quick, the adrenaline starts going, and you just tend to grip the bat a little bit tighter. But I really enjoyed those shots, and he used the pace of the ball to his advantage.
You know, next time you face Brett Lee, you know what to do now. Just remember Aravinda, smack him away over mid-wicket. There we are. OK, we're going to take a very quick break now. When we come back, we'll be off to Cape Town, where there's a day-nighter, or there has been a day-nighter played today, another Super 6 game, and it's India versus Kenya, full of surprises and drama.
Travelex, the world's foreign exchange company.
Off and running. The challenge is on. Super League, the new season, continues tomorrow at 6 with Widnes St Helens live on Sky Sports 1 in association with Stan James.
Gentlemen, welcome aboard flight 273 with service. The captain has turned off the fastest.
Presenting the new 12-inch PowerBook, the world's most compact, full-featured notebook computer. And the new 17-inch PowerBook, the world's first and only 17-inch notebook computer. The new 12 and 17-inch PowerBooks. The next big and small things from Apple.
Not all broadband packages are as packed as BT Open World. You get free email, protected with antivirus and anti-spam, 50 megabytes of web space, loads of content, and if you order now, you save up to 100 quid. That should take the weight off your mind. BT Open World Broadband, call 0800 800 050.
Even in the most turbulent times, Scottish Widows has stood firm. Using its strength, experience, and investment expertise to guide its customers year after year after year. Scottish Widows, looking good for your money.
Constipation. Sometimes I want a predictable solution, so I take Senecot for gentle relief when I wake.
Senecot, natural relief for a brighter tomorrow.
These are crazy furniture prices, only £50 each, and there's more in store. Like this Murano table and chairs. Hurry while stocks last. Homebase.
To
celebrate Vauxhall's 100th birthday, we're launching 2 new special editions with up to £1,000 of free equipment. And a great new finance offer. The new special edition Astra Active and Corsa Active. A great deal to celebrate. On the pitch, we worship them. Ferdinand! Freddie Ljungberg! Off the pitch, we know little about them.
I'm a terrible loser, and I know about it.
Rio, Teddy, Freddie. We get intimate with 3 gods of the game, on and off the pitch.
Maybe the hair will fall off one day.
The all-new documentary series.
I was so nervous, it was unbelievable.
Freddie Ljungberg Close Up, 9 o'clock this Sky One Sunday.
Go on, Princess. Is that Billy Wilkinson? Willie Wilkinson. I never liked him. Unlike your sister, as I recall. Flash as ever. Flash motor, flash clothes. And her mate Pauline and Tanya Roberts and that Susie... Oh, I'm right on cue, the flash bird. Susie Perkins and her mum. He wants to get himself a couple of kids. And a mortgage. Nice house. If you like Neo-Georgian. Oh.
The way I see it, I'm the Chancellor of my own exchequer. I've got something put away for a rainy day. Well, you know it's going to rain sometime. Fixed up both my sons with stakeholders. And I got a little something called a guaranteed bond. I checked it over with me financial advisor. He said, you seem pretty sussed, big fella.
For financial information you can use, give Norwich Union a call or a click, or contact your usual advisor. Together we can help you get sussed. Norwich Union. Together we're stronger.
Some saxophones. Trumpets. The piano. Great on their own, but like the single malts in Bell's whiskey, for something really special, you need to blend them together. Blended to perfection from the finest single malts. Bell's. It's all in the blend.
An unspeakable crime.
He crossed the line and he didn't even blink.
Academy Award winners Al Pacino and Robin Williams. Insomnia on DVD and video.
Last year, I was lucky enough to win this for the 3rd and final time.
We edge ever nearer to Cardiff.
You're in the last 8.
And the semi-finals are within touching distance.
Pressure's on.
This cup never ceases to amaze me. That's why we love it so.
Can you handle it?
But whose name's on the magical cup?
Get past this one? Who knows?
An FA Cup 6th round double, Sunday from 11 a.m. Sky Sports 1. It's live. Live it.
Who do you think you are?
Not all bands make it big. Carling Homecoming only brings back those that have. For your chance to see the beautiful South back where they began, see these special packs of Carling.